Hey everyone, I'm Ashley and welcome to yoga today. Today we are going to do some more sleepy time yoga because I love it so much and I just feel like it's perfect right now with the way that the world is going. I think all of us need to take a little bit more time for self-care and rest. So I came up with this flow that will hopefully help ease you into that relaxation right before bedtime. Or if you're feeling lazy in the morning and you want to do some stretches, you can also do this in the morning time. Right now it's morning time when I'm filming it just because the light's better. But yeah, anytime you want to be mellow and in bed, this flow is awesome. So go ahead, grab a pillow, and we are going to start on our stomachs today. So we're going to be in our bed and we're going to go into Sphinx Pose. And we want our pillow to be at our shins. So we're going to set that up. You might have to adjust a little bit, get it going right. So we're laying on our stomach. Our elbows are directly underneath our shoulders. And we're just having a nice mellow back bend right here. So gaze is in front of you. And we're going to hold here for about 5 breaths. Maybe you want to close your eyes. Just kind of sink into the pose. Having the pillow underneath the shins is really going to take that compression away from the lower back. So depending on how much compression you have on your lower back, you might want 1 pillow or you might want 2 pillows. The pillow I have right now is pretty fluffy, so it's good with just 1. And again, closing your eyes. A couple more breaths. And from here, we're going to go into half frog pose. So we're going to start on our right side, and we're going to lift that right knee up, and then we're going to grab our pillow, and we're going to put it underneath our knee, right there. And then again, staying on our stomach, and maybe you want your hands folded in front of you. Maybe you want them out to a T, and you're just kind of laying down your left cheek to the side. This actually feels really nice. I feel like I could fall asleep right now, but I won't. And again, we're going to hold here for about 5 breaths. Just relaxing. The farther up you bring your knee, the more intense this stretch is going to be. So if you're wanting a mellow practice, keep it pretty low. If you want it to be more intense, even though we're laying in bed, bring it up just a little bit. Even just that maybe ½ inch I did right now, I can feel a difference. So it's up to you. Maybe you want to play around with it. And again, closing your eyes. Connecting to your breath. Really allowing your body to sink in to the bed, to the pillow. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly start to shift our weight towards the left. So we're going to, if you don't already have your arms out to a T, bring your left arm out to a T, because we're going to stretch out our shoulders. So we're going to shift our weight over to our left. So I have my right foot planted. If that feels like it's too much for you, you can just roll onto your side. You can have your foot out in front of you, foot out in back of you, laying. Actually, this feels pretty good. I'm going to stay right here. So I always encourage you to explore. There's so many different variations in poses. And you can always switch variations. Don't feel like, oh, I started out with this variation, so I have to hold it the full 5 or 10 breaths. You don't. You can switch. more breaths here. And slowly with control, we're going to start to roll back over onto our stomach. We're going to do all of that but on our left side. So we're going to switch our pillow over to our left. Set it down. We're going to bring that left foot up for half dog. Again, positioning the knee to wherever feels comfortable for you today. Laying down on the stomach. And again, hands can be crossed in front of you. Maybe you want to have them laying like out front in the bed. This feels pretty good too. I sleep on my stomach, so this feels like a pretty natural sleeping position. Or again, you can have your hands to a T and then this time have your right cheek planted. Again, closing your eyes, connecting to the breath. Noticing that stretch in your outer hip, glute area. Should be a mellow stretch. Everything that we're doing today is a mellow stretch. So if it hurts, I encourage you to shift your knee down a little bit. One more breath here. And when you're ready, if your arms aren't already over, like in a T, bring that right arm over to a T. And then we're going to slowly start to shift our weight over to our right side. Again, finding whatever variation feels right for you. If that's stacked side by side. If you want to plant that right leg behind you, in front of you. Maybe you want to plant that foot. This is pretty intense. I'm going to just rest my foot behind me. Should feel it in your right shoulder. Should feel good. If it's hurting, just back off a little bit. Shift your weight a little bit more towards the left. If you want a stronger stretch, shift that weight even farther back towards the right. Two more breaths here. And slowly start to shift your weight over onto your stomach. Cross your hands in front of you and then just shake out your glutes, your bottom. From here, we're going to go into Pigeon Pose. So we're going to start on our right. And we're going to bring that right foot up. Also, if it helps, if you want to do down dog on your bed, you can do down dog and then bring that right foot. So you're bringing the right foot up, left leg is extended long, and then we're going to bring our pillow and we're going to rest on our chest. So I'm bringing my pillow all the way up to like my hip. My hip is kind of holding it in place. And then I'm resting on top of it. And actually, I could probably put another pillow here. Let me grab one. I want to be really supported today in my pigeon. Oh, that feels nice. So we're going to rest here for about 10 breaths. Go ahead and close the eyes. You should feel a nice stretch on that outer right hip and glute area. These pillows are really allowing you to sink into that pose. You're fully supported. And because you have the pillows, you're at a little bit of an angle. You're not down flat. So it's making the stretch a little bit more mellow than it typically would be in a pigeon. But I can definitely still feel the stretch. Don't be fooled. Again, maybe you want to play with your hand variation. Bring it out to a T. Or you can stack them on your pillow and then bring your head to one side. This feels actually pretty nice for me, so I'm going to stay here. See, even when I'm exploring, I find different variations that I like. I'm always switching it up. I always encourage playing in your yoga practice. Move around. It doesn't have to be stiff or serious. Yoga should be enjoyable in its movement. So play around in your movement. Find some stillness here. This feels really nice. I hope it feels really nice for you too. Couple more breaths. I'm terrible at counting. I'm never actually counting breaths, so we'll just go with a couple more seconds. And when it feels right for you, slowly start to push your weight up. And let's shift our weight over to our right. We can move our pillows out of the way for a second, and then we're going to do pigeon on the left side. So we're just going to switch. So maybe you want to come to tabletop, extend that right leg long, and then bring the left foot shin in front. Again, option if you want to go up into downward facing dog on your bed, do it. Okay, and again, I'm gonna bring my pillows all the way to my hip crease. And then I'm just gonna slowly start to inch forward. Even with two pillows, I feel like I want to kind of tuck my pillow in for a little bit more lift. My left side is generally not as flexible as my right side, so it makes sense that I want to be up a little bit higher. So I'm up pretty high, but I can always relax my neck. I can stay right here. Maybe you want to rock your head left and right. And I'm gonna bring my head, my right cheek to the pillow, just to even out that neck stretch. I can really feel it on my left hip and glute area. I'm getting a pretty strong stretch, even though we're using a lot of props right now. So just kind of notice that, which side is tighter for you. Just be aware of it. And close your eyes. Reconnect with your body. One more breath. And when you feel ready, slowly start to make your way back up. Shift your weight to the left. And we're going to go into Child's Pose. So it's up to you. If you want, you can have your knees closed together like this, or you can have them open. I would suggest, since we're using a pillow, to have them open. It's just going to allow more space for the pillow and for your hips. But this is totally fine if that feels good for you. Again, either variation, you're going to bring the pillow up to that hip crease again. So I'm going to go wide-legged. I'm going to use both of these pillows. I'm going to bring them up to my hip crease, and then I'm just going to slowly start to fall forward, bringing arms out. And I always like to bring my head to the side for Child's Pose, even when I'm not using pillows. But if you want to do traditional and have your forehead to the pillow, that's fine. If having your arms out straight still feels too active, I would encourage you to play with bringing them back. This always feels like the most restful Child's Pose variation. Wow, I could totally fall asleep right now. And if you have your head to one side, let's just go ahead to keep it even. Bring your cheek over to the other side. You always want to keep your stretches even in yoga. Keep your body balanced. A couple more breaths here. And whenever you feel ready, start to push yourself up. Oh, that one felt nice. I'm like super relaxed right now. Okay, so we're going to shift our weight onto our bottom. And we're going to bring our legs out into a straddle. Again, we're keeping it mellow. This is sleepy time yoga. We're going to bring our pillows to our chest. And we're just going to fall forward. And maybe you want to fold your pillow in half, like this. To prop your pillows up more. You can always add a third pillow if you want. Whatever feels right for you. And again, you can bring your arms out long. Staying pretty active right here. If you point your toes up to the ceiling, you'll feel a nice hamstring stretch. If this feels like too much for you, go ahead and just let your toes hang loose. You can also drop your head, hang out right here. You can also, if you want to activate your toes again, and then maybe you want to wrap your peace fingers around the big toe, and you can inhale up, exhale, fall forward. Again, this is your practice. You can make it as lively or as mellow as you want. I'm just giving you options. And again, you can always drop out of one variation and go to the next. You might even be upright, maybe even just having your legs in a straddle and your toes flexed. Maybe right here feels like enough, and that's totally fine. That is still yoga, which is the beauty of yoga. So we're going to stay stay here for a couple more breaths. Close the eyes. And whenever you feel ready, start to open your eyes. If you're leaning forward, slowly start to make your way back up to seated position. From here, we're going to remove our pillows for just a second. I'm going to shift myself a little bit further up on my bed. We're going to come to butterfly pose initially. It's going to be our starting pose. And I'm going to put my pillows in back of me. Again, I think I'm going to use both of them. And I'm going to shift them. I'm going to bring them all the way so that they're touching my lower back. And then I'm going to slowly start to relax down on my back. And again, I encourage you to play with your arm variation. I have them right now in Cactus, and this is a really nice heart chest opener. Like, this feels awesome. You can also bring them to a T. You can bring them up overhead, straight, or maybe you want to grasp your elbows. Or if you're really wanting to connect to your breath, I would put one hand over my heart and then one on my stomach. I really like this. Just to kind of notice your body expanding and deflating as you're breathing. So this is really nice. I'm going to make my way back to Cactus Arms because I just feel like I'm always in need of a heart opener because I'm always sitting in front of a computer for work and it's easy to like slouch forward. So having a heart opener, that's the opposite of that slouching that you get from sitting all day. And so this just feels really nice. And I don't get to have this feeling a lot. So whenever I have the opportunity, I grab it. So again, we're nice and supported with our pillows. We're propped up a little bit. So that takes the pressure off of our hips. If you have really tight hips, this might be a hard pose without the props, and that's okay. A few more breaths here. Really allow the weight of your body to sink into the pillows. Know that they have you. They are there 100% holding you. So you can release any tension that you have in your body. You don't have to hold that right now. You can release it. And whenever you feel ready, we're going to stay in this position, but I'm going to have us bring our legs nice and long. Maybe you want to do a good morning stretch. Oh, that feels good. Maybe wiggle your toes and your wrists. From here, we're going to go into tree pose, but we're going to do it laying down. So we're going to keep our left leg extended long, and then we're going to bring our right leg up. Again, just like standing tree pose, it's up to you where you want your leg to be. So it can be down here by your ankle. That's a tree. It could be on your calf. That's a tree. Or it can be all the way up by your groin. That's also a tree. And I'm going to have you activate your left leg. So we'll have the toes pointing up towards the ceiling, and that's going to really mimic like as if we're standing. So we're going to get a slight hamstring stretch in the back of that left foot. You should be feeling that there. And just like in standing pose, you can play with your arm variation. Maybe you want them up overhead to a T. Maybe you want them down here or on your chest. Again, like always, I'm going to go to Cactus Arm to keep that heart opener. You can close your eyes, or you can find a gaze up towards the ceiling that you want to hold. It's all about how active you want to be in your practice. Only you get to decide that. Let's do one more breath. And when we're ready, we'll release that leg and arms. You're going to shake it out. Get your wiggles out. And then we'll go to the right. So we're going to activate that right leg long. And again, we're going to find whatever variation of tree pose works for you, and finding the variation of your hands and arms that work for you. This feels really nice. I wasn't expecting lying tree pose to feel so good, but it does. It's good to know. Again, eyes can be closed or open. I'm closing my eyes right now, but on my last tree, I had my eyes open. One more breath here. If your eyes are closed, start to flutter them open. And let's relax the pose, extending both legs long. Again, get your wiggles out. And from here, we're going to go to figure four. So we're going to keep the pillow on our back. We're going to plant our feet so that our knees are facing the ceiling. And from here, we're going to keep our left leg how it is, and then we're just going to bring our right ankle up and over our left thigh. And we're just going to sit here in figure four. I'm going to have you activate the right toe, so it's pointing up towards the ceiling. You should get a nice calf stretch with this. Should feel really good. And again, if you want to extend your arms over to get more of that chest opener, go for it. You should feel a mellow stretch right here in that outer hip glute area. Feels really nice. It's mellow, but it's there. Again, eyes can be closed or open. I keep switching off back and forth. But that's me. Really take a moment to connect with your breath. Take some nice big inhales. lungs. Fill up your lungs. And do a nice, long, slow exhale. You want to breathe it out from your mouth. And one more breath, inhale. Sigh it out. All right, slowly with control, we'll drop that right leg down. So our right foot is planted to the mattress. And then we're going to inhale, lift up and over that left ankle, over that right thigh. Again, I'm going to ask that you activate your left foot so toes are towards the ceiling. So you get that nice calf stretch right there. And again, playing with the arm variation. And once again, my left side is just way tighter than my right side. So I am feeling this a lot more on my left outer thigh glute area than I was on my right. So again, just pay attention. It's just helpful to know where your tight spots are. Again, focusing on a nice deep inhale and sighing it out. Inhaling the breath. Sigh it out. Again, inhaling nice and deep. Exhale out. One last time. Nice big inhale. Exhaling it out. All right, from here we're going to bring our knees to our chest. We're going to wrap our arms around them. Give them a nice big hug. Maybe you want to gently rock side to side. From here, we're going to keep our right knee close to our chest. We're going to extend that left leg long. We're going to extend that right arm out to a T, and we're going to shift our weight over to our left so that our right knee is dropping over to the left side. You can extend that left arm long, and then to counterbalance the weight, it's nice to look over that right shoulder. And again, if you want a more intense stretch, you can activate that left toe so that toes are towards the ceiling, activating the hamstring and calves. We're almost to the end of practice. We're going to do this stretch on the right side, and then we'll be in Shavasana. So hang tight, you're almost there. Let's do 2 more breaths. And when you feel ready, start to shift your weight back over so that it's balanced on your back. Let's bring our knees up to our chest one more time, squeezing them. This time we're going to extend our right leg long, and then we're going to shift our weight over to our right, bringing our left knee over. Again, extending our arms out to a T, and then this time looking over that left shoulder. Again, activating that right foot. Two more breaths. Slowly with control, start to shift your weight over to your back. Let's bring our knees up one more time, one last hug. Maybe rock left and right. And then slowly extend out to Shavasana. Oh, we did it. Shavasana just makes yoga worth it, right? I want to thank you for joining me for practice today. Thank you for trusting me to be your guide. Namaste.